anybody that has a low IQ? What kind of a person or what kind of people would those people that you know who are like that, what kind of people are they? What comes to mind when I use the word stupid? Hello and welcome to the Daily Summation from Kurt's Religion and Politics. I'm Kurt. I am your host today, and I wanted to welcome you aboard if you're coming on Rumble, on the podcast, or YouTube. Remember that you can get the podcast on Apple Podcasts, on Google Podcasts, and on Spotify. You can typically find me searching for Kurt's Religion and Politics. If not, you can try searching for the Daily Summation. Today is Tuesday, the 1st of December of 2020, and I wanted to, like I say, welcome you aboard. And the subject of today's little podcast and video is low IQ. I use the term low IQ specifically because I know that a lot of people, when they hear the term stupid, attach negative connotations, attach negative ideas to that word. The truth, though, is that there are a lot of people a lot of folks out there would consider, quote, stupid, who would consider low IQ, they would consider them low IQ, and those people are actually really good people. I know more than a few who I've known for many years, lots of them, and they're just really, really solid, really nice, really generous, often happy, easygoing individuals that you would just find to be wonderful individuals. And here's the funny thing, people with higher IQs and people that are, quote, smarter, people that are, intelligent, people that others would look at and go, oh, that person seems like they're pretty smart. Those people are more prone to be less, not as nice, not as easy to get along with, more prone to be likely to try and get over on you various kinds of ways. And so the funny thing is, I look at what a lot of people would refer to as stupid people, and I say, the funny thing about it is most of those people, and I'm not saying that there are none who are not problematic, bad, or whatever, but most of the people that I know who fall into that camp are actually decent, hardworking individuals who maybe just don't have the horsepower upstairs to do a lot of things that a bunch of other people who maybe are prone to be doctors or lawyers or computer programmers or whatever are prone to do. And I've talked about the people in jobs like street sweeper and so forth, and a lot of those people are in those jobs because, quite frankly, they either can't be bothered to or they really don't feel able to gain the kinds of skills that they would need to have in order to fill positions that are higher, more difficult positions. But my point in all of this is to say this. I want you to know this was all born out of a meme. And originally I thought the meme said one thing, and I looked at it and I realized it said another. And I got thinking about how people look at people that they view as stupid or that they view as low IQ or unintelligent or whatever you want to say. And here's the conclusion that I came to. I came to the conclusion that most people I know who are looked at as lower intelligence are actually not just okay people, they're fine people, they're good people, they're working people, they work hard and they do things to try and keep themselves afloat and alive. And lots of times that requires a lot of work on their part and a lot of discipline on their part, and grease and dirt under fingernails and dirty hands and all the rest of these things that they have to go through in order to do that. It might be something as simple as stocking shelves or working a cash register or something like that, but it also might be something as dirty as digging ditches or sweeping streets or cleaning toilets, or some of them are people who work in things like security and so forth. But the point is that all of these people that I know, people look at and they would think that those people, there's a tendency to look at them and kind of, particularly when you're talking about people are sort of higher intelligence, higher ability, right? And they tend to look at those people and kind of look down their nose at them. My answer is, funnily, I mostly find those people to be people who my bigger concern is whether or not they're going to be able to have a life that's ultimately a happy, good life. Because I see a lot of times, first of all, that they're not looked at, people don't look at them and go, this person should make a lot of money, right? So they don't pay them a lot. And frankly, they can't afford it. One thing that I said before is, look, if you work at McDonald's, given what they're selling McDonald's hamburgers for, you're not going to get very much money as a result of doing that. That's just how that is. The other thing about it is a lot of those people end up, unfortunately, because of bad choices or whatever, doing things like drinking in excess or using various kinds of drugs or whatever. And it basically means that those individuals end up spending large amounts of resource doing things that really are not beneficial in the final analysis, sort of looking at things. I know, looking at things, that even though I make reasonably good money, I can't afford to drink. I can't afford to do drugs. It's not even about do I want to, because I don't, as a rule. I don't want to drink, certainly in excess, and I don't want to do drugs at all. I don't take any medication because I don't see the need for it for me. But I don't drink and I don't do drugs. And a big part of the reason that that's true is, quite frankly, I can't afford it. And the thing is, a lot of people who are lower paid individuals are in those positions because they don't have, as I've said, the sort of mental horsepower to get to a place where they're being paid to do high-end sorts of work, right? And so the point is that a lot of those people in those situations, they're going to make decisions, and some of the decisions they're going to make are not going to be really good. Now, some of them have done pretty well for themselves. I have family, you could argue. I say you could argue because they're in-laws mostly, who are maybe not all that intelligent, but they've actually done pretty well for themselves. And that's good. That's nice. I'm great with that idea, by the way. But then again, I know lots of people who suddenly find themselves in situations where what little resource they have is drained away, and they really don't have it anymore. And there's just nothing they can do at that point except hopefully try and keep working. And what makes it worse is, if you work in a job that's very labor intensive or whatever, for a lot of those people, they come to a place where they can't do that anymore. And unless they can find some way to make money, now they're dealing with living on unemployment or hopefully some sort of retirement like Social Security or whatever. And that's the best that they've really got to deal with, other than what they've been able to save in the course of time, if they've been able to do that at all, depending on what kind of money they make and their expenses and their life choices again. But the point that I'm making in all of this, what I'm trying to say in all of this is, I see people who are being called stupid because they do the same wrong things over and over. They don't learn from their mistakes, or whatever you want to say. They don't better themselves as a result of the fact that they make mistakes. They continue to make the same mistakes over and over again. And I realize the same thing is true for those people as the people that I used to refer to as wimps, because they would take sick time when I was at work, right? I would work the 9 years that I was in the military every day. I never took a day off that wasn't a day of leave. When I was working in a civilian position where I worked for another 9 or 10 years, I took half a day off, quote, sick, and the rest of the time I took off would have been again, vacation time that I was paid for, right? So I used to look at those people as wimps. Well, you can look at people who are not very intelligent in the same sort of way. You can look at them as, oh, they're dumb, they're stupid, or whatever. But the reality is, everybody's not the same. Everybody's not the same. And the thing of it is, because somebody makes the same mistake over and over again, doesn't mean that that person is inherently a bad person. It may just mean that they just don't have the mental acuity, they don't have the skills, if you will, the aptitude to do the right thing, to do good things. So I would be very careful using the word stupid, but I would actually even be very careful talking about people who are low IQ and saying that those individuals, and IQ, I don't like the IQ concept, but that aside, I would be very careful talking about those people and denigrating them as a result of that, because a lot of those people are just really nice, good people. Okay, I need to wrap things up. Again, I'm today being the 1st of December of 2020, and being Tuesday, tomorrow will be the 2nd of December of 2020, and it'll be Wednesday, and I'm going to try and get a podcast and a video out tomorrow as well. So hopefully we'll see you then. I hope that you have a good day and that the rest of your week goes well as well. And hopefully we will see you tomorrow. The speaker on this edition of the Daily Summation is Kurt Schubert. This video was recorded on Tuesday, the 1st of December of 2020. The Daily Summation is created for Kurt's Religion and Politics. Thanks for checking out this video. Remember that you can like it on YouTube and you can give it a rumble on Rumble if you want to do that. I have channels on both YouTube and Rumble. They are the Kurt's Religion and Politics channels. You can subscribe to either one of those if you want to do so. Remember, if you subscribe on YouTube, you probably want to click the notification bell in order to be notified of new content. If you want to see more from me, you can check me out on my blog. That's blogs.kpschubert.com, blogs.kpschubert.com. You can also see my Facebook page. That is Kurt's Religion and Politics on Facebook. You can check out my Twitter, Parler, and Minds.com accounts. My handle on all three of those is at kpschubert. That's at kpschubert. You can check out my podcast. The podcast is at podcasts.kpschubert.com. That's podcast.kpschubert.com. And finally, you can check me out on Patreon. And if you want to support me, that's probably one of the better places that you can do that. I am Kurt's Religion and Politics there. Thanks again for checking out this video, and hopefully we will see you again tomorrow.